the work in its entirety and in its original display, originally intended display mode, is at the Doris McCarthy Gallery, which I'm very grateful to Barbara for encouraging that. And again, with this piece, I think I would seem to have been trying to weigh the value of various types of information, personal information, information that comes from your own subconscious, information that comes from outside sources, and see where the truth really lies. And just after this very fertile, excuse the pun, period of production for me, I had a chance to meet the American feminist artist Mary Kelly when I interviewed her, and I think that would be an interesting place to almost end my talk on conceptual art. Mary Kelly's postpartum document, 1973 to 77, is a monumental work analyzing the mother-child relationship told through a series of information-based panels. And it is conceived as an installation in 6 consecutive sections and was enormously controversial when it first appeared. As you can imagine, the idea of an exhibition that included dirty nappies, which we're seeing here, was seen to be an outrage and an affront to everyone. From analyzed fecal stains and feeding charts, so kind of doing an analysis of what goes into the baby and what comes out. The analyzed utterances and related speech events. So she actually translated the wah-wah and the buh-buh and that of her son. Analyzed markings, so as he began to draw, analyzing what those meant. The transitional objects, for her, they became his handprint, and for the child, it becomes something else. And finally, the pre-writing alphabet. And perhaps the most interesting is to consider is that Kelly herself saw the postpartum document as a challenge to conceptual art, particularly the maleness so defined by my own walk through Avalanche magazine from 1970 to 76. At this point, she defined her own art as feminine discourse, which is very interesting, or other art, which I find very interesting. And she's a very, very smart person. And this in spite of the overwhelmingly conceptual language and methodologies she uses throughout the work, the indexes and the use of low materials and all of those kinds of things, which really characterize it as very classic conceptual art. Mary Kelly has always moved it to the side of it and said it was a different kind. It was different than conceptualism. And she has said, I have always thought of the Natural History Museum as a vast metaphor for the exploration of the mother's body, and that she was trying to put this archaeology of everyday life into that kind of framed space or an unexpected place. And I'm just going to close with a really short clip from, how do you do this? Oh, I don't even know. From a piece that was in the Toronto International Film Festival last year that Kim Tomczak and I produced. It's called Speak City. It's a perfectly conceptual artwork. We traveled to all 140 designated neighborhoods of the city of Toronto and recorded the streets, one intersection, the street signs at one intersection. And the resulting piece is 31 minutes long. And it's a meditation on the city of Toronto. There are only words and landscapes, no people at all. And I'll just play you 2 minutes of this. It's all natural sound. The intersections were recorded, and when we edited it together, what you see is a record of the seasons changing, because it took us about 18 months. I mean, we didn't do it every day, all day. We have other things to do, but we did get out and actually do it. And so you see the city go through a bunch of changes of season. And the work was included in TIFF last year, and on several occasions we were told, I couldn't believe it, I watched the whole thing. And it was kind of shocking to hear that.